Ivan Mitic.
Our idea is to develop a camp which will start acting in the area of ecotourism, and to be more precise, this will be a social enterprise, this camp, to work as a social enterprise, and all the income that this social enterprise will create, again generate, will be used for the public purpose.
Number two, the next person I'd like to call up and congratulate is Biljana Filipovska.
The project that we applied with for the Green Ideas, philanthropy of Green Ideas, is supporting marginalized agriculture producers, farmers from Macedonia, who are small, and by marginalized I mean who do not have access to the market, and educate them about chemical-free production and also sign agreements for buyout of their products.
And last but definitely not least, Mr. Aleksandar Novovic.
It's a concept of city gardens and community gardens, some kind of alternative ways to organize people in a small community. And the focus of idea is that two things, you know, city gardens and such organization in citizens. It's some kind of infrastructure of sustainable cities in countries.
You have so smart ideas. The way you are presenting and the way you worked on your ideas and you presented your ideas was so on a so high professional level. I'm really, really, really impressed.
Each one of your projects, I do believe, has great potentials, is very much of quality and of I mean, it's full of passion, and it's too apparent that you have worked like hard, and you have done a great work both on your own, with your teams, as well as with the national organizations who's been also running this beautiful project.
I fell in love with the place, I fell in love with the people. You are so warm and nice and beautiful. So, I guess God agrees.
I leave this region still with so little knowledge, but inspired. So thank you very much.
The green part of the project is multi-level, let me put it that way. From one obvious basic perspective is that we will encourage and promote chemical-free production in the country, and we will engage a specific number of marginalized producers who currently do not produce 100% chemical-free or are chemical-free but by negligence. So they will be educated and potentially transfer this type of production to other second or third generation of producers.
For the purposes of preserving of the nature, we plan to develop technologies and processes that will not harm the nature, to be energetically sustainable as much as possible, to have central heating boiler on the solar energy to have the best appliances which are energy saving, to develop very strict rules of behaving in a camp and nature, especially when people want to see endemic species of plants and animals. And in this way we plan to become leaders, at least in our territory, in our region.
It's totally green project, and the whole story lays down on a green policy, you know, because our motive is to solve social problems, but always through green policy, you know, because it's all about forgotten resources, it's all about all society do something about resources, you know, and all our resources are green, green part of the life, and that's it. Our beginning are gardening, our gardens, and of course gardens in the city, which for that we need, of course, many aspects of society, social life, but that's the point. We just make gardens in a city, and all citizens can do in those gardens, and they produce their own food.
Our young people, like in Kosovo and all the Balkans, more and more are thinking just to go to asylum in Germany and somewhere. And as I have 43 years and I fight for them, why don't they start to fight for themselves? I mean, come on, let us stay, let us try to do something. We have beautiful nature, excellent capacities, potentials to develop something in our own homes. I mean, you will feel better in Germany or Switzerland or anywhere. Here is the better place, I mean, in this way. And we expect from our camp to become a progressive place in which young local people from our territory could meet young Albanians, young Germans, young Japanese, and to exchange their experiences and to discuss about their ideas and to spread their knowledge about ecology, about sustainability, about living in peace, about everything.
The first obvious social impact is towards the marginalized producers. Currently, the biggest problem is that they come from the cleanest places in the country. They do not have market access. They really struggle to sell their products, or they do sell them locally for very cheap prices, although they produce chemical-free. So this should be really appreciated in today's world, that we're full with pesticides and with pollution. And we believe in Good Earth that they should be given a great chance. We share the values of social and eco behavior and sustainability, and therefore we think we should offer a channel that we will provide education and training for them, and also a possibility to buy directly their output.
Everybody who wants, he come in a garden. Maybe he don't know gardening, but maybe he's an engineer, he's an artist, he's a musician, never mind. And all people gathering in a garden around the plants, they do some more ideas and more ideas, and that's our first step in a social impact, because we are, right now we are totally, how to say, new for people and for our social situation.
This idea came from reality, so it's a need. In the country there are certified organic producers which we collaborate with, for sure. Part of our customers need and ask for certified products, but the level of recognition of the national organic logo is not very high at the moment, is progressing. And these producers, because they're the first ones in the country, offer us very high input prices. That's against somehow our values, because we believe that chemical-free or organic food should be more and more available, should not be only mainstreamed and made for profit out of big profit-oriented companies. And sadly enough, that's what we see happening all around the world and also in Macedonia. Because it's becoming a trend and more people want to eat organic food, and just the profit-making companies come and they produce mass production and they make profit out of it. So we thought, what's the best scenario for us as a cooperative that we could secure chemical-free products under a standard, under a followed procedure, not to be by chance and not to be distrustful by the side of our customers. And this was somehow the result that came out of our work.
1 year already we're making analysis. We analyze almost every aspect of our idea because we didn't want to make any mistakes since this camp represents excellent opportunity for our association, development opportunity, and could easily become accelerator for rural development of all our territory. And we are active on the rural mountain territory with 27 villages and 23,000 still vital population. So we expect from the camp to accelerate development, at least on our territory.
The idea is called Gardens of Ecologic. It means, of course, ecological gardens, and it's all about ecologic. You know, you just thinking like eco kind of life.
It was fun. Also, somehow, I don't know, I wasn't sure that we will go further. I wasn't sure how much this concept is understood or will be understood. We just felt the need and the necessity, and our project idea came from reality, and we decided to give it a shot without any filtering, without any second thoughts. This is what we are, this is what we need, so let's try.
I think that maybe we should work more on the national level before coming here, because I will paraphrase, tell one interesting stuff. I think Zuckerberg is the new billionaire which found, and when they ask him who is the entrepreneur, who is that person, and he says entrepreneur is a person that is ready to jump with the parachute of their own design.
I must say it's our first concourse. We didn't do projects like that, you know, to ride them. We just do things almost 2 years. And I must say that our fund for active citizenship, they just have here for our idea, and they just said us, guys, you must write that project and you must be applicant for a next stage. And so we do it. Maybe our project is not totally, you know, how to say, totally classic, but we made it because story was better than our knowledge to write a project.
I was very excited. This is a regional award, very important for us. A big recognition to our efforts many years back, not only for this. We explain our background, we talk about what we did, because this is also influence on the public and the jury. So we could easily say that this is also not an award only for this idea, but also an award for the past successes. So we are extremely happy about this, of course.
Because as I also talked to the jury, they were really strict, and they didn't show any emotions, which was the way they should have been. So they were instructed to be very professional and very objective. But I didn't get any feeling about any feedback from I didn't have any aspect of how the project was accepted or not. So this made me feel doubtful that maybe it's not the right place for the right project.
You know, I didn't expect because I didn't satisfy with my presentation, but when I heard my name, I just said, okay, that's it. People can hear, people can recognize good things, and now I'm just afraid of next stage because we must be serious now. This is not anymore just enthusiast work.
I mean, the challenges somehow are behind this project because we used to learn from the challenges in order to come up and summarize the idea as it is. So we faced challenges which had to do prior to reaching this idea. Dealing with the organic sector and the development of the organic movement in the country was the greatest challenge. The supply and demand side are totally fragmented and not in line with one another. So you have increasing demand, whereas the supply is lacking, is quite poor, and the ones that exist offer very high prices, and very few people can afford them. So we were sad to see this happening because there is a great need for different type of people that need chemical-free food. So that was somehow behind the chapter one step before that gave us an input, a valuable input in order for us to come with such an idea and now make it possible and real, actually.
Well, the big challenge is that we are still on Balkans. We have our mentalities, very, very interesting mentalities. And if you want to develop business here, you need to discuss with many types of people and many types of organizations from many different periods. Somebody left with the brain in 80s, somebody is 90s, and somebody is in 22nd century. So try to make business with these people.
The challenge, especially in our society, is the idea is very, very new in our society. In the world, it's not a new idea, and it's very simple idea. But in our society, it's very new, and the people scare of new things, or they just don't believe what you think. You know, in one moment they think we are just hippies, you know, crazy hippies, do some gardening. But right now, I think when people from higher stage said, okay, this is good, maybe, and our society will, I don't know, be the same thinking like that.
I believe that we will have a second generation, so as to speak, for producers who will like to join our team, and I'm really looking forward to that. So this means that we can spread and multiply our concept, and there has been already initiatives from other cities around the country, and we will gladly respond to that soon. Once we have this project a little bit settled, then we understand how we can better proceed further.
A year from now, we expect to achieve our optimal level of development, something about 19.4% of occupation of our capacities, which is optimal for us because it is achievable with the same number of engaged personnel and with the same fixed expenses as we are starting right now. So if we decide, and for example, we expect $20,500 of net income. If we're going to have 23,000, then we must employ another person. Then it's not going to be 23, it's going to be less. You know, and this is the breaking point for every enterprise. To survive first 2 years is the most difficult. But I think that the support of our RBF and the national, local foundations, I'm sure in this that it will not stop here.
The second stage is probably our local government, you know, because we right now doing everything by ourselves. But the next stage, when we build all that story, all that center of urban gardening and you know, alternative ways of organizing people, we must convince our local government, okay, did you see what we done here on 7 kilometers far away from city center? Now give us the land near the city or in the city, and we will build the same concept with more and more people.